Alright guys, now I'm starting a new series about electronic music and about composing electronic music. This is a very personal topic for me because I'm a musician myself and I play guitar for several years, and I'm also doing and have done electronic music for several decades, and I started out as a teenager with my first footsteps in programs that were called trackers back in the day. And it is something you can do nowadays too. And it's really interesting, it's creative. And if you're also into electronic music or maybe even composed something, this is the right series for you. So let's jump right into it. What I want to do here is a real deep dive in electronic music composition. And to be more specific, into house music by using a tool that's called OpenModplug or OpenMPT. There is a bunch of other tools too that you can use, other tracker programs like Renoise. They are pretty much the same, but its learning curve is a little more straightforward. In this first chapter, I don't want to get all too technical. I just want to talk about trackers generally and about how the music culture of the 90s shaped us by using these programs. If this sounds boring to you, no problem at all. Just skip ahead to the next chapter. And for everyone else, sit back, maybe grab a coffee and just let it wash over you. So, who is this video for and who am I? If you clicked on this video, and let's be honest, you don't click on a topic like that by accident, then you're probably, just like me, were born somewhere between 1975 and maybe 1985. And you completely absorbed electronic music in the 90s. Maybe, again, like me, you took your first steps with sample-based trackers somewhere between 1990 and 95. Back then, this was almost a trend among teenagers. If you were into computers and had any kind of musical or creative spark, you were going to run into trackers sooner or later. It wasn't a question of if, it was more a question of when. Some of the real pioneers were already pulling off impressive stuff on the Amiga 500 platform, and they were using tools like ProTracker, Octameet, and all those tools that opened up an entirely new creative world in the late 80s. I personally landed right in the famous middle ground. Around 94 or 95, I built my first tracks using the legendary Fast Tracker 1, and shortly after that, of course, Fast Tracker 2, like pretty much everyone else at the time. And I don't know how it was for you, but in my case, I felt like the entire group of friends was making music on the side. Most of them with Fast Tracker, some of them from the Amiga scene. We were a generation that was emotionally shaped by electronic music. And yeah, in the 90s we grew up with rave, with acts like Dune, The Prodigy, Marusha, members of Mayday, Faithless, Paul van Dyk, the Chemical Brothers or Music Instructor, and pretty soon many of us grew out of that, and then we heard groups like Armand van Helden, Daft Punk, Nightcrawlers, Robin S, CC Peniston, Cassius, in Germany Tom Novi, Everything But the Girl, it was very famous back in the day, and many more I'm probably forgetting right now. And then there was the whole piano house universe, with Baby D from the UK, or Crystal Waters, Black Box, Liquid, which were from Belgium as far as I know. They all lied somewhere between rave energy and pure house elegance. And as we got a little older, we eventually ended up with artists like Michael Gray, Mojo, Artful Dodger, The Shapeshifters, Way Out West, maybe you heard of them, and of course many others too. So long story short, we grew up with an insane diversity of electronic music, and that foundation still lives inside of many of us today. And maybe if you were clicking this video, it is something that you can identify with too. So to close this one up, I give you a small appetizer to the kind of music that I'm making. Here's one track that I was working the last days, and it sounds like this. the bass line. And the beat. And the chorus. And there's a small breakbeat section, of course. Yeah, but I'm also doing the more traditional, the more classic kind of house music, which is a bit happier. And I really like the Korg M1 bass, which I also use here. So let's listen into this. And then with vocals. Of course, all that stuff was very rough. I didn't do any post-processing with that. I just wanted to show you a very raw version of something I did just a few days ago. So if you want to hear more of that, learn more about composing, finding harmonics, using plugins for post-processing, finding the right bass lines for tunes, then stick to this series and watch the next episode. Thank you for watching.